All right, y'all. So look, I know you see the thumbnail. I know you see the title. Life is Strange, True Colors. Now I'm speaking like this, kind of down, kind of sad. That's because we won't be playing this full game. Life is Strange Double Exposure is right around the corner. I actually missed out on early access, so I'll be playing it when it officially releases on the 29th of October. But I did want to play True Colors beforehand. Now the reason why we're not playing it is actually mainly my fault. I actually had all of episode 1 recorded, but after I record videos and I publish them to YouTube, I'd head over into my folder on my Windows Explorer, whatever, and I delete the clips I don't need anymore so I can get that space back for my hard drive. And you know how sometimes on your computer when you delete something and then if it's too big it permanently deletes it. But the thing is, I accidentally deleted all of episode 1 for True Colors, and I didn't realize it until like a week later because I recorded it early so I could have it ready to publish. And when I went to go edit it, it was gone, bro. Not in the recycle bin. It was wrapped. So at that point I was fed up because I don't like the fake reactions. I didn't want to redo it and say I didn't play it or redo it. And even if I would have told y'all I played it before, to replay an episode or a game like Life is Strange that soon, I don't know, it didn't feel right. And we were getting close to double exposure, so I said, hey, with all the other games you're going to be playing, I doubt we would have time to finish it like that anyway, especially since these episodes be long. So I found a recap of the story, and I know that it's kind of hard to recap a game like this because it's a decision-based game, but hopefully we can still get the general idea of what this story was about. And I will of course still play this on my own. Unfortunately, I won't play it on the channel, just like Before the Storm DLC, the little Chloe thing, and that was heartbreaking, but it was fire. But without further ado, we got a video by Podcast Now. He did the full story explained / recap. Gonna check this out. Let's go ahead and turn captions on, and yeah, we're gonna be getting right into this.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video I'm going to tell the story of Life is Strange True Color, summarize it in as little time as humanly possible, and we're just going to jump right in. Life is Strange True Color stars Alex Chen, who leaves foster care after 8.
I even had a freaking intro made. You know how I did an intro for the first Life is Strange, second Life is Strange? I had an intro made, bro. Let me play it, bro.
I can see what you are and wanna be what you are. You can call me strange, but disrespect the set, you get kicked in your strange butt. What goes around comes around. Best behave when in my town, cause I can feel your energy. Alex, check 'em, how you feeling me? Cause the truth gon' hurt when it gets revealed. Said it ain't no cap, I keep it real. Let me see your colors, true colors, true colors, true colors. I can see what you are, wouldn't wanna be what you are.
I can't even lie, I'm not too proud of it because I don't know why I thought this game was like a 2006 BT special, bro. Like, I should have picked the indie rock beat, but it's okay because like we're not even gonna be playing it now. Let's get back into it.
8 years being apart from her brother, and goes to meet him, Gabe, at Haven Springs, a small little town in Colorado. The first part of the game is simply to walk around and meet people. You meet Ethan, who is a son-like figure to Gabe. You meet Eleanor, who is a owner of a flower shop in the area, and you pretty much just go around and you talk and you experience life in what will be your new home. The first main conflict of the game revolves Mac, who is a character that's dating Riley, and he believes that Gabe is dating Riley kind of behind his back. So he goes to
went crazy
Gabe,
on this
and basically
dude.
He beats the living heck out of him. But this strong emotional hate and anger actually triggers Alex, where we find out, yes, she can read people, she can read their emotions, but if they're strong enough, they're super strong, she can actually almost absorb them into her and make those emotions her own, to which then she attacks Mac. Now later on in the night, it's found out that Ethan goes to examine or goes to explore the old mines, and there's really no way around that. I mean, you can rat him out to Gabe, but no matter what, that's going to happen. You go, you do end up saving him and rescuing him, but this results in a mining explosion, which was scheduled to happen, although Gabe did call and said that it was called off, that they'd be perfectly safe. The mining explosion happens anyway. A rock hits Gabe. He falls. Ryan has to cut the rope connecting both Alex and Gabe, and Gabe falls to his death, and that's the end of chapter 1. Chapter
My
2
thing
is
though,
a lot of
okay. My thing is with this, he going through it quick. I know you said he was gonna do the recap, but like I said, it's a choice-based game. Like some of my choices, like. Cause people was bugging in his town. Like there was that little boy that had his comic, you know what I'm saying? But he was all right. We gonna play it. Maybe one day I'll come back to this. Figuring out what
life is like after Gabe, mourning, loss, sadness. Figuring out what's going on with Ethan, or kind of what how he's dealing with it. But this is where you meet most of the town. You continue to see
Omni-Man.
Jed on and off. In this episode, you actually really figure out that Eleanor has some problems in terms of dementia. She can't remember things. She's trying to hide it the best she can, but she cannot. You play Seth in a game of foosball, actually multiple games of foosball, and it's just a lot of connecting. Again, all those characters that you meet with Ryan at the very end, but the plot underneath it is figuring out what actually happened. Gabe made the call, and somebody picked it up, or at least we think so, and nothing ended up happening. There was no resolution there. Well, Mac was actually the worker at the time. He received the phone call, but he's being very quiet about it. He's being very weird about it. In fact, he even asked Riley to leave with him to kind of get away from the town. So you have to try to figure out what's going on, and you do this by basically confronting Mac, getting again to know what's going on emotionally with him, where you find out that yes, he did receive the call, and actually he's not that bad of a guy. He did actually put the orders through to his superiors, and they're the ones who ignored it. He did tell them, look, there's a boy here, you can't do the blast, or we need to delay the blast, and they ended up doing it anyway. And that's kind of where it leaves you at the end of episode 2, along with sending the paper lantern into the sky, mourning the loss of Gabe. But that's where you see everybody being kind of acceptance, but also kind of grieving and mourning for Gabe, except for Diane, who's a worker for Typhon, which is the mining company that has a lot of stake in the city of Haven, and also just they're a really big corporation in general. Episode 3 starts, and episode 3 is half detective case, half LARPing session, which is actually incredibly cool.
Live action RPG.
Of episode 3 is to figure out what happened with Diane, right? She got the call. She was the one in charge. Obviously, there's people above her, but she was the one who actually put the order through to go ahead and do the explosion anyway. So
hold on. Let me pause my boy Alex. So it seemed like the majority of the game is you just trying to figure out, or I guess we know Gabe died, but I guess I don't know. I can tell though from the first episode that I played of this game that it would have been my least favorite Life is Strange, but I love the way it looked. Like that opening, the little opening music. Oh my gosh, but it looked beautiful. Alex was cool. That's when she beat up that dude. I wish he would have included in this video, but in the intro when I said Alex Chin, check him, because Alex Chin, and she knocked dude out. But anyway, let's play this. But it seemed like they're just trying to figure out, I guess, the depth of Gabe and what went wrong, I guess, with that explosion. Who knows?
Trying to get evidence that something more is happening than what's currently being investigated, which is nothing. Really, there's no leads. Typhon is kind of shutting things down left and right, and you need to get the USB stick from Diane, which you can do by getting Steph or Ryan to kind of try to hit on her and try to distract her while you do it. The rest of episode 3, for the most part, is a LARPing session in which you're literally just trying to cheer Ethan up. He's been through a very tough time. He really, and even including through the LARPing session at the end, he completely blames himself for the loss of, again, his father figure, because, again, he was the one who went into the mine. If that didn't happen, his dad would still be alive. So you put together, actually Steph being kind of the mastermind behind it, you put together a LARPing session where you have to complete quests, and it is the entire town kind of all pitching in. You go into different stores, and they're all kind of organized. There's specifically, I guess, the record store is organized like a shop. Steph is dressed like a witch. You could fight bosses in a Final Fantasy cross. I guess the final boss is more like a Kingdom Hearts thing. Very, very different, but it also kind of cringe in a way, but also just incredibly enjoyable and just fun and very, very different. So you go through the quest, you try to get, or you ultimately end up getting the 3 jewels. You fight the final boss, which could be foreshadowing, by the way, in that it is Jed, which is is actually the king turned,
Omni-Man?
Actually he's the bad guy of this LARPing session. You fight him, and everything's going well, but then you kind of realize Ethan almost has PTSD over the issues that obviously happen, and he still, 100% blames the loss of Gabe on himself. Charlotte is also incredibly angry, specifically at this point where she really hates her son. She loves him to death, but she also hates him because she also, in her own way, blames him for the loss of Gabe. You can choose to take that anger from her, or you can choose to leave the anger with her, and those will play out in different ways as the game goes on. Another big thing that happens in episode 3 is you go through the audio, you go through the phone call, you go through the records to figure out that actually there's more to this Typhon thing than meets the eye. In fact, there was a second mining explosion that was happening at the exact same time as the first one. So what was going on? Why would you do a second explosion? You were doing it before inspection started. What exactly is going on there? But the USB stick holds all the evidence. So all we need to do is give it to the police, give it to the right authorities, and problems will be solved. Then we jump to episode 4, which pretty much has a sense of everything's going to be okay. We have everything we need. We know things are going to be sorted out. Let's enjoy life. And that brings us to the festival, in which you can do lots of different things in the festival. But the main thing is you can give a rose. You don't have...
Imagine freaking, you're Alex. You ain't seen your brother for 8 years. You come to town to see him, and he dies that night, bro. Oh my gosh, that would be crazy. I don't understand how she honestly stayed here, past the funeral service. Or, lifting the candle, whatever they said happened, I would have been out, bro.
You don't have to pick Ryan or Steph. You can be, by yourself, basically. They'll still be your friends, but you won't have a romantic interest. You can give the rose to one of them, which will solidify that romantic relationship with the person. You can actually go off the beaten path and connect with Riley and tell her or not tell her that her mother figure in Eleanor has dementia. That will affect whether she stays or leaves Haven Spring, and that also affects how Eleanor will treat you in episode 5. If you do not see Riley at all, literally doesn't matter. Just pretend like you told her nothing, that nothing actually ended up happening. You meet your love interest to kind of solidify that relationship afterwards, after you do a nice little musical, note with Steph. You play a song with her, which is a really cool scene. And then you see Pike again, who is the police officer, kind of the one that hangs out around the city, in which he wants to take you in for questioning. It's there revealed kind of the restless stuff that's going on. Yes, the USB stick is evidence, but you stole it, so it can't really be used legally to prove anything. Also, Typhon is very, very powerful, and they're watching over everything. They know who you are, they know who Ryan is, they know who Steph is, and they're gonna, do some very bad things to you. They actually have done some very bad things in the past. They can do some very bad things if you do not let this thing go. If
I definitely gotta play this. I know I'm knowing the story, but
that Typhon is to blame, that there was a second mining explosion, all of that stuff. That ultimately leads to a decision where you can take the fear, because Pike has a ton of fear about his own life, regarding Typhon. You can take that fear for yourself, or again, you can kind of leave him with the fear.
Imagine if all of the protagonists were to meet up. We literally gonna be like a mini X-Men team, bruh. Max, Daniel, and Alex. I mean, Daniel really got the most firepower, but if we mess up, Max can go back in time. Shoot, she can go to different timelines now, and Alex can take and use emotions, boy. You know what I'm saying?
And just sign the affidavit. You then have a discussion with Jed, who you ultimately admit everything that's kind of gone on, right? That there is a cover-up. There's something that was in that second mine that they want to keep hidden. So they did an explosion there, but they also did the normal explosion. That's why they couldn't delay the first explosion any longer.
If my camera died, I'm sorry.
They were trying to hide what they did 11, 12 years ago, so they had to do these blasts simultaneously, which again results in a Gabe dying, but also is hiding whatever's going on in that first mine from over a decade ago. You tell Jed this, he's fine with it. He'll say, you know what, I'll show you actually what's in there. We'll go through it. You go there, but he actually betrays you. He was and you find this out a lot earlier, actually in the beginning of the game. He's heralded as almost the savior, where he brings these miners in.
Really Omni-Man?
But I believe they say the miners, to their knowledge, like nobody actually died. Nobody actually knows that they died. he kind of like brought them out, and he's just regarded as like a savior miner in the community. And then Typhon actually bought him the bar that's a center point of the game, and he's just, you know, this great community leader, this father figure to everybody. And that's the facade, that's the fake story that's going on, when in reality he brought these people in, and he actually left several of them to die. He's actually the cause of it, and instead of owning up to his mistake, he basically goes along with Typhon and just buries everything, you know, there. And so that's what the second mining explosion was to hide, was the fact that there was actually a massive amount of human life lost many years ago that was hidden, and then they needed to literally hide it before inspection starts. So he shoots you. He doesn't, you know, kill you, but he injures you, and you fall down the mining shaft, ending episode 4. Episode 5 is very trippy, very different. I actually really love it, and it's basically going through almost your inner demons. It's a very personal kind of episode where you're almost stuck in like a limbo in your mind, and Alex relives a lot of her almost traumatic, in fact actually all of them are traumatic experiences in her life, but also where she really discovers
this would have been a good story.
Powers. You know what I mean, where these things really take effect, but also just really big personal things happen. The first being the loss of her mom, and really the first time that she felt immense emotion, basically for the first time in that way. Second one was her father leaving her, and third one was being turned away by pretty much any parent at any foster home she ever lived in. Nobody really wanted her, which was that anger part of it. So she goes through it basically just to understand and like accept that these things have happened. This was her life, and to kind of move on from it in some sense. She wakes up, she goes through the mine, and she finds that one of the miners was actually her father. When her father left her and Gabe, he, you know, did God knows what, but at some point he ended up in Haven Springs, the same place that they're at, and he worked as a miner under Jed, and he was one of the miners, obviously, that died because of the mess up there. So Alex figures all that stuff out.
If I was playing this all
out of the mine,
freaking
and
4 episodes and got here,
the final part of the final episode of the game, in which the whole goal is basically to convince the town council that this is what's happened. Jed is lying, Typhon is lying, all of this stuff is happening, and depending on the decisions you make, you know, people will back you up. People may not. Steph, I believe, under every circumstance, will back you up. Ryan will not. Depends on what you choose. And the townsfolk, you know, will or will not. Depends on what you've done throughout the game. Again, some quick examples. Pike will defend you only if you took his fear away. Eleanor will defend you only if you didn't tell Riley about her dementia. Otherwise, again, if you do the opposite of these things, these characters do not defend you. But no matter what happens, no matter who defends you and who doesn't defend you, ultimately, you end up connecting very emotionally to Jed, in which you kind of break him down, saying, you know why he did all this stuff or what happened. You can choose to either forgive him or condemn him for, the stuff that he's done in the past. And no matter, again, even there, what you do, he ends up confessing to the police, and that's where pretty much the story ends.
Really
the final part of the story is a few, I believe, weeks later, maybe 1 week later, where your love interest, if you do have one, will knock on your door. You'll be able to say kind of one last thing with them. You'll make the first of two kind of decisions of what you want to do, whether you want to leave Haven Springs or stay, and then ultimately you head up to the roof and you talk to Gabe, which is still basically your subconscious kind of deciding and rationalizing, what am I going to do? Ultimately, there are 6 endings in all in this game. You can stay in Haven Springs without being romantically invested in anybody. You can stay with Steph and work in the DJ booth, work in the record shop. You can stay with Ryan and just kind of build a life, start anew. And then same thing if you leave. If you leave, you can leave by yourself, you can leave with Steph, or you can leave with Ryan on a new adventure. And that is where the game ends. So let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments below.
I don't know if I could stay there after everything I just learned.
To the channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos
Podcast
go up.
Now, I'm subscribed to him. I be watching some of his other videos, bro. He be going crazy. He broke this down fast and well. Like, I know he probably skipped out a lot different choices, certain little doodads, funny dialogue, but I have literally the whole story of True Colors is in my brain. But I still want to play it because that was amazing. Definitely seemed like it was like I said, probably my least favorite out of the first and second one. The first one is always going to be the best Life is Strange game in my opinion, but the story for this seemed pretty cool, It don't seem like it has too much, to do with Max's story or Daniel's. They're all very different. Like, I don't know if he had to answer, about Arcadia Bay or anything like that. So the good thing about me skipping this on the channel is when Double Exposure releases, we probably didn't need to know too much about this, you know what I'm saying? And if you already know the game and played the game, then when we do get the double exposure, I mean, you never know, we could get an Easter egg or a cameo. I would love to see a adult, you know, Daniel and Sean, but it depends on what you chose. But I don't know, this was definitely cool. This recap helped a lot, you know, without spoiling too much. Like, it didn't feel like watching this, didn't make me feel like, damn, I wish I would have just played this, because, you know, I would rather watch it, you know? Like, these need to be movies, bro, or like a HBO Max show or something. I hate I had to, you know, have this let's play be like this. Once again, is mainly my fault because I accidentally deleted that first episode, and it kind of just drained my whole everything with the series, because I didn't want to replay that first episode faking reactions or just replaying it in general. I could probably never replay a Life is Strange game that soon. Like, I will never be replaying the first one or second one this year, or probably not even 2025, bro. Even if it's choice based and I can choose different choices, different endings, it's something about, just like Walking Dead Telltale. If the only way I would replay Telltale Walking Dead is if they announce a new season with Clementine, bro. That's the only way I would do that. They're like sacred almost, man. So I'm gonna play this on my lonely. I won't have it on the channel. I apologize for the people that did want to see it. I know a while back I was still seeing some comments about Life is Strange. This was True Colors. This is gonna serve as our let's play for this game, but double exposure is right around the corner, and I do plan on playing that to completion, so we can see where Max has been up to for 10 years. You know, it's been 10 years since the whole Arcadia Bay. I destroyed Arcadia Bay, you know what I'm saying? Even though I still, to this day, that was kind of on Square Enix and Deck 9 and them, bro, because we should have been able to go and save our people and take them up to that mountain, bro. We had so much time, but we wanted to chat and watch our loved ones die, bro. But anyway, this is gonna wrap it up for True Colors. Once again, sorry it had to end like this, but I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell so you know when I'm posting, man. Share the content, share the channel, do all of that. I'll see y'all in the next one. It's your boy Kai SMG. Peace.